Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast, recording live from Seattle and Tacoma, Washington. My schedule, hey, I'm in San Francisco this weekend at Cobb's, and then that's going to be October 11th and 12th. Next weekend, I am in Cleveland, Ohio, the 18th to the 20th, and then I'm in Columbus, Ohio, the 25th to the 27th. And, yeah, that's good for this episode. Now, if you come to San Francisco this weekend to see me perform, I will have this guy sitting next to me. Adam, was it Fink?
What is it? Like it's
Fink?
been, yeah.
I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right.
Oh, yeah, after all this time.
I've said it two different
after
ways.
all these experiences we've had together
Is it
over
F?
the last year. Y.
N-K-E. Fink or Fink?
Fink.
Fink.
Yeah.
All right.
It used to be Finkelstein, but then they circumcised it, and so it's just...
Is your real name Finkelstein?
A couple generations up. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like you got the L.A.
Like
and changed it. Like Tom Cruise is not Tom Cruise.
Right.
Jamie Foxx isn't Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. I honestly, I don't like my last name that much, like Fink. It's just not powerful. Fink, you know? Fink.
Makes you think.
Makes you think.
If you a Fink. So where are you from?
Michigan. Outside
Detroit.
of Detroit, yeah.
Lions fan?
Oh, yeah.
Favorite
Doing
all-time Detroit Lions player?
Stafford.
Really?
Yeah. I think he embodied the Lions. He was just tough as shit. Like, he would get hit over and over and over and still go. Like, still go for it.
Not Barry Sanders.
I didn't live through Barry Sanders. I mean, I was a kid when that was happening.
Detroit. And you're going to be on the show with me in Detroit. When,
Yeah.
What's the date on that? That's in November.
November 15th at Motor City.
Motor City Casino. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, because you was like, yo, can I get on that date? I said, bro, you can do any guest spots you want.
Well, if I got it like that, I didn't know I got it.
I'm just
like
saying. Here's what I like. We're in an age right now where some comedians, the younger guys, the knock on them from the OGs, my era, is like, there's a lot of entitlement. I kind of look at it from a more broad perspective. Like, if you are a TikTok sketch guy and you can build your audience and they're coming to see you, I'm not going to knock you for doing that. The only thing that I've seen from a couple of the quote-unquote social media younger guys is they don't put in the work to build their stand-up act. And I know it's got to be tough when you're selling tickets and people are paying to see you, but I think deep down you want to deliver, you know?
Yeah, but it's like I don't fault them at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not faulting them.
Because it's like you have people that already love you and they're coming to see you. Why the hell would you go to an open mic the next day?
Really? I see it opposite.
But for them, though, because any normal human being, and like these sketch TikTok guys, it doesn't mean that they're a stand-up, like at heart. They're doing it, but like, and they can enjoy it. But like a stand-up at heart, like, I feel like when I see someone, a comedian, I'm like, that's a stand-up at heart. And like, we're down for that mic. We're down to be in the mud of it, to get better, to get to our best.
Yeah.
But any average human being that wants to get in it, that is even a sketch person, they don't want to be in the mud like that. It's the worst. It is like the open mic scene, especially, I mean, LA, it is the worst form of human civilization I've ever seen in my life.
Really? It's that bad?
It is that bad. You have no, like, I bring in people, like, I have buddies that are like rock and roll on the road. They're like very popular bands. They see the dirtiest, they see the craziest. I bring them to a midnight mic in LA, in like East Hollywood. They say, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
What do you mean? What makes it so bad?
There's homeless that go up. Like I've
Shut
almost
up.
been stabbed. I've almost been punched in the face several times.
What are homeless people doing? Who's giving them a microphone? How are they getting in the building?
How are they getting it? It's literally it's like half of the mics are homeless people in LA.
See, I'm thinking when you say it's bad, I'm thinking the stand-up's bad.
Oh, of course.
Like, but it's legit stand-up. When you're telling me homeless people, now are you talking about homeless like Tiffany Haddish was homeless living out of her car, but she was still out there grinding trying to be a stand-up?
No, I wouldn't talk poorly about someone who's like that. I'm saying people that are homeless and can put 4 words together and then just make noises into a microphone. And so like
I'm so taken back by this. Like
was it not like that when you were in LA?
No, nobody's putting homeless people up. When you say homeless, I mean, are you out in LA? This is my thing. Did you move to LA to say, hey, I want to be a stand-up? And you're just not making money at it. So you're struggling. So you might be living out of your car. You might be sleeping on somebody's couch. That type of homeless? Are you talking about Skid Row?
No.
Living in tents?
I am
lost
talking
it.
about disability, lost it, had it at some point, and is 7 years into stand-up and carries around like paper bags and shit with you. And it's not like they're not getting put up because it's like these mics. It's anybody signs up and you go up. And like that's how I started. When I started, I did a midnight mic. I waited till 1:30, 1:45 in the morning, waited an hour 45 minutes to go up. Through all the homeless people that would go up, and then wait to get the last spot, and then almost get stabbed. Like that.
You say who almost stabbed you?
There's one dude that he had a shank. He pulled a shank out of a grocery bag, and that was his big reveal. And
on stage?
On stage. And he was like, I was in the front row. Like, so he's poking around, like acting like he's going crazy. And so you don't know. That's the thing about LA too, is like people can dress and they can look normal, but you have no idea what's going on behind their head. Like you have it like makes you seem crazy. Like I'm from the Midwest, so it's like I feel like I'm some sort of normal person, you know, but they make you seem crazy because like you put on this nice outfit on, but then you're like smearing shit across the wall. Like it's insane.
That's happened too?
The first apartment, I moved to downtown LA like maybe 6 years ago.
From Detroit?
From Echo Park. I've been in LA 10 years ago. I started comedy like 2.5 years ago. Before I started comedy, I lived in downtown LA. I get into the building. There's this really cute girl. She had like a spaghetti strap shirt on, denim skirt, really put together girl. And she was leaning up against the wall next to the elevator. Like she had her back up against the elevator. I'm like, what is she doing? Like she seems like distressed. And she was taking a shit on the floor.
A cute girl.
A cute, well-dressed woman taking a dump.
This is in Echo Park or in
downtown LA?
Downtown LA.
The first day I moved in, had a crate of my stuff in. And she's there taking a shit by the elevator. I got to press the button next to her. And I'm like, are you okay? And she's looking at me like a dog that's like getting caught doing something bad. And she's like, I couldn't hold it.
Shut up.
I'm not kidding. I couldn't hold it.
It's funny, but it's not funny.
No, I know, but it's like, because I'm trying to.
It sounds like, do you watch Soft White Underbelly on YouTube?
Mm-mm.
You don't watch his videos?
Is it does he go around Skid Row and stuff?
Yeah, he goes all over, but his videos usually in black and white. And then.
Is he like German or something?
You never see him. No, he's American.
Okay.
He speaks off camera, and he'll have like hookers, pimps, drug addicts. He went into West Virginia and got this family called the Whitakers. They're like this straight up inbred family. But he interviews all these people, and it's interesting because it kind of humanizes them. But you always wonder, like, how'd you get there?
Yeah.
Like at what point in your life that you're a cute girl and you're shitting in the hallway of an apartment building?
So, I mean, I just think, I mean, it's just like LA's just a big house of cards. Like, it's everybody is there, has family money or something like that. Because there's all these hot people there. They're hot and they're crazy at the same time. I'm like, how do you survive? Like, I think it's just either that they're on disability checks or she was on some family money and was off her meds, because it just attracts crazy people now.
Well, downtown LA is different
But
than
this was in
other
a
parts
building.
of LA.
It was in a building.
With security? Is there a
security.
security at the door?
Yeah, there's security, but they don't do anything. But yeah, downtown LA is notoriously crazy.
Yeah, it's Skid Row.
Yeah. It was right next to Skid Row. But
Yeah.
she looked like a not Skid Row person, but she was still taking a dump
Mm.
right next to the elevator. So I say, like, excuse me, I got to just press the button. Sorry to...
Trying to figure out how our conversation just went from the social media TikTok guys doing stand-up to a girl shitting in a hallway that fast.
when magic strikes, But
So when you first moved to LA, what were you doing since you've only been doing stand-up 2 years, 2.5?
production.
What do you mean?
I started shooting music videos in college, like directing like hip-hop videos and stuff.
With real artists that we know?
I've worked with some real artists since moving to LA. Yeah.
How did you get in, quote unquote?
It was easy. I mean, I had a friend who was like in people like Big Sean's camp and stuff like that. And so like we started doing stuff with, his crew, and then got connected. And then when I moved to LA, I just started hooking up with local artists. I would shoot videos for free for people. Like when I
Why'd
first
you go the
moved to
hip hop
LA.
route?
Love hip hop. And I don't know. I always had black friends growing up, like best friends that were like, so it's like it seemed like a natural fit. And I'm a director too, like at heart as well. But so the music video thing just it like tickled all the fancies. Like I got to be around strippers. I got to shoot videos. But one thing, dude, strippers don't respect me though, and
Why not?
this is a problem.
You talking about at the strip club or
Yeah,
period?
almost all around.
Why don't they respect you?
I think they think I'm too sweet. They don't want to corrupt me.
Because you're tiny?
Petite,
I went to a strip club with Mini-Me, Vern Troyer from Austin Powers.
Yeah.
We shot a movie together, and man, we was in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd hit all the strip clubs. A couple times we went out, not all the time, like 2 times during the shoot we went out. And I just remember one time we went into a strip club. They were passing around like a lollipop. Like I literally saw him floating around the strip club.
Would they put him in like
no,
in
they
the
were passing him
boobs or, like,
along.
kissing?
He's so little. They were just passing. People don't realize Vern Troyer was smaller in person than what he looked like in the movie, and lighter. Like he was so
Lighter?
light.
Why, did you pick him up?
Yeah, he was light.
You picked up Vern Troyer?
I was Bear Kitten. He was Bear Kitten. We were like partners in the movie.
Oh, so for the movie
So
you were picking him up.
But period. Like even when we're going somewhere, I pick him up, put him on like his little cart or something, right?
Yeah.
He was so light. He
Yeah.
was just so little. But to see him, it was a visual I'll never forget. Because I'm sitting there and they're going nuts like he's Denzel Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just at one point saw his head just floating. And they were literally just passing him around.
Oh
And he
my
was
God.
eating it up, just smiling. I was like,
I mean, that's the best it's gonna get, For Vern, like that's amazing.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I would figure
No, I'm not
strippers-
Vern Troyer.
it doesn't matter. I'm thinking you're little. I think strippers are like, oh, they would respect you. But you don't get that.
That's not. I'm not that little. Like
I
that's
know you're not that little, but I'm
that's
saying
a special little.
You're small.
Are you? You want to pick me up? You want to see if I'm lighter?
No, but I'm saying you're
than
small.
What I am?
You're a
Yeah.
small guy.
You're a big guy.
So I think
Mhm.
strippers would be like, oh, be nice to you.
Nah, I think because I also look like younger, like boyish qualities.
Yeah.
That I think they. I talked to a girl who grew up in a strip club, and I said, "Why don't strippers respect me? Can you tell me?" And she said, "You look innocent. They don't want to corrupt you."
The bigger question is, why do you care if strippers respect you? You're not trying to have a relationship.
I mean,
You know what the deal
bro,
is?
This is
It's a transactional relationship.
But it's a philosophical thing. I'm trying to figure out why. When I go into this building, how come these segment of women do not respect me? And now I'm seeking answers.
Are you a shitty tipper?
I don't even get the chance to tip. When I was directing videos, I would have all the cash because we would go there recruiting girls.
Yeah.
And I would have all the cash. And they just would ignore me. I'm like, I am here to tip you right now. And
Really?
you don't.
Strippers ignore a man with money.
Well, they don't perceive me as a man with money.
You gotta flop that shit out. Bro.
Yeah, I gotta throw it.
Or just come in, do what the brothers do. Just come in, take it, throw that bitch up. Like, I'm here for business, bitch.
Yeah, that's true. I was too busy.
Like, you gotta throw that shit up there and.
Yeah, I was.
Not that I'm an expert.
Uh-huh.
That was a long time ago. But there was a couple of times I went, rubber band, flick that bitch.
That's the move.
What's the most money you've ever seen thrown in a strip club?
Some like Saudi Arabian dudes.
In L.A.?
They brought it in L.A. at Sam's Hofbräu House.
It doesn't sound like a strip club.
I know. They don't. They have weird strip clubs.
Sounds like a German restaurant.
They have like Jumbo's Clown Room, Sam's Hofbräu House. Yeah. But it's been there for a while. And so it's like, we went there. We were shooting a video there. And this rapper, he had some bands, you know. He had some money and he was throwing it, whatever. But these Saudi Arabian dudes just had Louis bags of cash. And so all the girls were going to the guys. But we were shooting the video. So the rapper had to go over to the Saudi Arabian dudes and say, like, hey, man, do you mind just not throwing so much cash right now?
Really?
We're trying to shoot a video. He literally had to ask them to stop throwing cash for like 10 minutes.
The best would have been if the rapper was asking, the song was about money and bitches.
Oh, of course it was.
And he's telling him, hey, can you not throw as much money? Because even though my songs, I got to be the guy throwing the most money in this video.
Yeah. And that's the most, it's the most entertaining part is how Hollywood weird it is of how much of a facade all these rap videos are. It's just,
well, we're learning
everything's
that now.
rented, everything's fake.
Yeah.
It's all marketing, and there are so many, 99% of the rappers are broke as shit. So it's like, it's just so visual.
Well, it used to be, and I don't know how it is now, but it used to be if you got a deal with a label, they fronted you all the money, but you don't realize you have to pay that back. So instead
it's a
of
loan. It's a millions.
Yeah, instead of like
yeah.
using it on production and okay, how can I recoup it? Or cutting costs, be like, okay, the label gave me $500,000. I'm only going to spend $2,000, and then that'll be easy to recoup.
Yeah.
Nah, they're going to get car, a chain, strip clubs, money, shit like that.
Yep. And
You
I
know
don't.
what I mean?
It's hard for them not to do that. I get it. You came from nothing, and then you get this money.
Yeah, can you imagine giving somebody like 22 years old, never had no money, $1 million upfront loan, and they're just like, oh, they don't realize like,
Yeah, I'm.
this is what I've heard about. No, I not even heard. I know for a fact. There was one particular rapper, and it came from a reliable source. He got a lot of upfront money for his tour, right? But the tour, like, he didn't take into account you're paying for travel. So he has to pay for flights. The beginning of the tour, this rapper, a couple times he went on private jets.
Oh,
He's got like,
God.
he's buying tickets for like 10 people, right?
Oh,
And
man.
then it went first class. I'll put it like this. By the end of the tour, they were on Southwest.
Yeah.
I was like this. Oh. He was literally out of cash.
Oh,
And he was
my
making money
gosh.
on the tour. Like per show, he's still making money, but he was still having to pay that back
The
as
thing,
he went.
You know what? I'm kind of getting a taste of that good life right now, though. Like opening for you, because like I'm a silver member now
Of Spirit?
on Spirit.
You told me, you go, yo, I'm getting real familiar with Spirit Airlines.
Bro, I am a Spirit silver member, and it is this is the way I found out. I didn't know that was a real thing. You know, I didn't know they offered
Like, there's no
reward
first, though,
programs.
right?
Well,
There's
like,
no first on Spirit, is there?
like a gold membership. What do you mean, like
No,
a first?
you get on the plane.
first
I've
class.
never flown
No,
on
they
Spirit.
have thicker seats. They have some thick seats on Spirit.
In the front?
In the front, they have like 2 rows of thick seats, and then
Is it 3 or is it the 2-seaters?
I think 2.
So everybody else is 3, but the there's 2 rows of 2 seats that are big,
Yeah,
right?
I could.
That's
yeah.
Spirit first class? That's Spirit first?
I mean, first class. Like, I don't know if we can call it first class, but it's like it's the
I've-
front of the bus.
I've never flown Spirit.
You've
Is it
never
as
flown
bad?
Spirit.
Is it as bad as they say?
Here's the thing, Spirit. I don't want to bag on it. Like honestly, like
I'm never gonna fly it.
the crowd is better on Spirit.
What do you mean?
It's entertaining. It's a cool
I'm
crowd.
saying it's gotta be
They're-
wild.
They're a fun ass people. It's like it's honestly a comedy club crowd. Like a Spirit Airlines is where like people go to have a good time on their own.
A friend of mine's a flight attendant for Spirit, and I always make fun of her.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "I love my job, and I love the people that get on the plane." And she's like, dead ass, like yeah, it's a job, but she's not a broke chick.
Yeah.
She's literally doing it just to work and stay active and make a
Yeah.
little money. She's not a broke. She goes, "Gary, I love my job."
Oh, that's great.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Cause cause now just saving, cause it's either I spend like $200 or I spend $600 on a Delta flight. And for me, I'm like, I'll save $400 all day long. If I'm on
Yeah.
a plane for 4 or 5 hours, so what? I can suffer a little bit.
You're
That
little,
part-
that's where being little is as an advantage is when you fly.
Yeah.
If you go on a plane, I go, "I want you in the middle seat." Like, I'm like, please let that dude sit in the middle.
That is the
'Cause
one.
you're
thing.
right.
That is the one thing.
This you.
I like the tighter. Yeah, I actually like the tighter aisles because it's like
I-
it gives me. It's like a.
Adam, I know you. I don't know you super well like that, but I do know you. I could see you. Is Spirit like Southwest? Is it open seating or is it assigned seating?
Assigned, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I could see you on like a Southwest flight, like literally find a cute girl and be like, "Anybody sitting here?" And she's probably like, "There's so many empty seats," and I could still see you taking a middle seat to sit next to a cute chick. Do you do that? Would you do
No.
that?
No. See, this is the thing. I've lived 2 lives. I've lived the life of being like this. I'm shrinking. I'm like 5 feet tall. I used to be 5'1". Now I'm 5 foot flat now.
You're 5 foot.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were that short.
What'd you think?
5'3".
Yeah, I could have made it to the league at 5'3".
I didn't know I'm like a foot 15 inches taller than you.
Well, bask in
That's
it.
crazy.
Bask in it. So like going up to girls it's a nightmare. Like, so
I've seen you out, dude. You're charming. I've seen you out. I've seen you work a room. You're charming. You can say my height hinders me. I think you use it to your advantage, and it works.
but that's after like a show, right?
It doesn't
You
matter.
think
I've been out.
regardless? Yeah. I mean, cuz
I saw you in Oklahoma City
yeah.
dancing with that lady. I was like,
Oh, that was
at the
wild.
country bar, and I was like
Yeah.
this. Okay, Adam. I see you working it. You were doing a little line dance and twirling her around and shit.
Yeah, but but she was at the show. She was at the stand-up show. She got to know
Oh.
me cuz like me at bars or any public establishment, I do not go up to women at all.
That's not your height. That's most stand-ups, by the way.
It
I'll
was
give you an
like this
example.
before I did stand-up, but
You know
yeah.
Bobby Lee, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We started out together in San Diego. We were open micing.
Mhm.
But I remember we had a show at the Comedy Store, and it was packed, a couple hundred people. We both ripped. Afterwards, you're the greatest thing since sliced bread.
Yep.
We're eating it up. Hey, let's go out. All right. Me and Bobby go to some nightclub in San Diego, and we were so anonymous, and nobody did this at all, right? And
Mhm.
I remember we were looking at it, and we was talking to each other, and I was just like, we were both basically saying the same thing. I can't wait to be fucking famous. And we were like this. We go, these people don't even know.
Mhm.
We just destroyed a room with a bunch of strangers.
Yep.
We were the greatest thing, and now we're not getting double takes. Nobody knew who we were.
Nothing.
We were
You're
just
no-
young.
You're less than nothing. You're
But
just-
we
yeah.
didn't approach anybody either.
Right.
We expect people to come to us
Right.
as a stand-up.
Right.
We didn't approach any girls either. But I remember we were just sitting there like, yeah, this kind of sucks being anonymous. It's a drug. Like, laughter is a drug,
Right.
and it makes people, they're just attracted to funny people. People want to be around funny people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I have a theory. Like, and I mean I don't think it's even a theory. I think it's just the truth. Like, for a guy, like I think there's a hard line with women. Like there's guys that are desirable and undesirable. And there's a hard line. But the nice thing about a guy being a guy is it doesn't matter how you look, how tall, how fat, how whatever. You can up your life and your skills to get into that desirable space.
As a stand-up.
As any kind, if successful in business, whatever you're doing, if you're passionate about whatever you are. But yeah, stand-up especially is great for it because it's so public. But like,
it's power too.
Oh yeah, you're commanding a room.
Yeah, there's power in that, and there's a presence, and I think more than like abs, chest, anything like that.
Right.
You see a man or a woman, could be a man attracted to a woman, it's female stand-up. You see them control a room where people are like, their entire mood is dictated off what comes out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I know of all the years I've been around. Women like a man with presence. And stand-up gives us that presence that we don't have otherwise. It literally is a superpower.
Yeah. It's made my life so much better.
I've seen you work at Robin. Batman.
Yeah.
Robin.
Superman.
You're doing great.
No, well, I'm saying I've lived on both sides of the aisle, I feel. Like undesirable before stand-up. But I felt like I'm a fucking good guy. And I'm getting shit on by all these women. Because like the only way for a guy to meet a girl, if you're not, I mean, outside of, we do stand-up, so we meet so many people all the time. But there was no way for me to like really go up to chicks and seem like special or whatever. My confidence was so low. And so like going up to a girl in public, like I did used to blame it like all on my height and shit like that. But it wasn't just my height.
But let me ask you, and I noticed a change in me when I was in the military, which was all right. Well, I didn't have a problem meeting girls, but I will say when I started telling jokes, even as an open micer and everything, the quality of women that I started to talk to, because I had the confidence to talk to a pretty girl that maybe I wouldn't have approached otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Even the girl I'm seeing now, I'm like, I met her at the gym, and then my thing was she's got to see me on stage.
Yeah,
she didn't know who I was.
That's the honey trap.
And I was like,
come on, come to a show. Come on.
If I can get her on stage, that's like that's like me being a football player. You got to come to a game. I'm the running back or the quarterback. You got to see me play.
And the girls know it too.
What do you mean?
Oh, he's trying to bring me to his home court. He's trying to. Did she come pretty soon to a show? Did you invite her to a show and she came out?
Yeah, I invited her out and then she came, and I remember I sent my road manager at the time to, hey, go get her number. Go see what she's talking about, right? He came over, he goes, I got good news and bad news. I said, what? He goes, good news is she's going to come to a show. Bad news is she don't know who the fuck you are. I was like, really? So.
Wait, this is after meeting you at the gym?
Yeah, this is at that same day.
So you met her at the gym, you approached her, and then you said,
my road manager went and filled her out because I was
he was at the gym with you.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know if she got a dude. I don't know anything. I don't know if she's crazy.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, go like feel her out, small talk, and then invite. I didn't say I'd get a number. I said invite her to a show, and that was it.
Okay, so you didn't even talk to her at the gym.
Afterwards, I did. Yeah, I didn't like see her at the show. Like, yeah, once he got her number, said she's cool. She doesn't know who you are though. Then I went over and approached her. Small talk, like,
gotcha.
hey.
Then,
whatever.
That's cool. But yeah, the power because now it's also the power of going through the trials and tribulations of this stuff, like the bombing. There's nothing worse than bombing.
You ever invite a girl out and you bombed in front of her?
Luckily, no. Actually, no. Not a bad bomb. All my terrible, horrific bombs have been no girls there, but just myself. We did
a video. People can look it up where you had a flat. I don't say you bombed. You had a flat set in Indianapolis.
No. Oh, dude. I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, tell me what happened.
So, I did the way we met. We met in Florida. I DM'd you.
Just so people know, DMs aren't all about hookups.
It's business.
I've got a lot of business done on
business
DMs.
Chat. Yeah, well, I live on Instagram. I talk to everybody on Instagram. But DM'd you a clip, and then you said, okay, yeah, you can do 5.
Well, no. Here's what caught my attention. And I try to tell people all the time, if you're DMing, every city I go to, I'm getting DMs from locals. You need a host. You need an opener. Can I go up? And you're not. You wish you could. You wish you could give everybody an opportunity, right? Because somebody had to give me an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I'm so protective of my circle. So I don't like you. You've been on the road with me. I don't travel a lot of people. I don't like a lot of people in my business. I don't like a lot of people around me. I don't do much during the day anymore. So to let somebody into my life is you're taking a risk, you know?
Yeah.
And I learned that through my divorce, and not just my divorce, but like just stand up in general. Like I don't remember years ago, Monique had the grievance with Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of snapped on social media one day about how it's you, stop blaming everybody. And there was a guy opened for me in Columbia, South Carolina, that literally was about to like narc me out about a girl that I must have talked to, which I have no idea if it was true or not. But he was just like, yeah, you tried to talk to this girl in Columbia, and I'm going to let everybody know. And that is a guy that opened for me in Columbia. And because he didn't like what I said about Monique, he's like, well, I'm going to say something. It was threatening me, and it was going through my road map and everything else. And I was like, what is he talking about? And he was trying to do the whole I'm a black man standing up for a black woman deal. And the funny part about this dude, this whole story, we'll get back to you in a second, was every night he wanted to pray before the show. So we'd sit there and hold hands and do this prayer. So this same guy that's like snapping on me, cussing, going in, was the same guy that did the prayer every night for the show. My opener at the time, the last night, Sunday night, he goes, yeah, I've been bombing all week. I don't want to pray tonight. It ain't been working. And that night he ripped.
That's hilarious.
Why was the best show the night he refused to pray with the dude?
Refused to pray.
So anyways, that's what. So when you DM me,
yeah,
you did it the right way. You didn't say I'm the funniest guy on the planet. You didn't say you need me on the show. What you said was, I've been doing stand-up a couple years, and you was like, you're like, I pattern myself after you. You said something like, you really stroked my ego.
mm-hmm.
And then you said, and that's when I looked at one of your clips. It was funny. And I go, oh, yeah, that was funny. And that's on brand with my crowd.
Right.
So I was like, yeah. And then I went, yo, who did your video? He was like, I did. And that's when I went, oh, you record? And I go, yeah. And I was like, all right. I said, yeah, come. If you record my set, you can get a guest spot. And then now look at you. You're with me once or twice a month.
Yeah.
And it works because you're able to film my sets.
Yep.
And edit them.
Yep.
Edit them so you get a little extra cash there.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting what I like. Your attitude is you look at it like, damn, I'm getting 30, 35 minutes every night, every show.
Multiple
I don't
times.
get that in LA. So and I'm pretty sure you've seen your act has probably gotten exponentially better.
Oh yeah.
Being on the road like that.
Way more confidence, way more fun, silly.
Mm-hmm.
There's no substitute. Because the way I thought about it is just seeing a little bit of LA and everything like this. I'm like, there's so many funny people out there. There's so many funny comedians. But it's like, how am I going to compete? How can I compete with thousands of funny comedians trying to make it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I need to do whatever I can to like give myself value to like you or whomever to set myself apart from them so I can get that stage time. That's all I care about is like getting as much stage time as possible, like to get better.
Yeah.
And so it's like I have no ego when it comes to stage time. Like I will do anything because at this I'm working my shit out. Like I'm finding my shit and doing half hour. Like what we did 9 shows in Dallas. Like
oh yeah,
that shit. Like do the math.
Packed houses,
270 minutes.
and they're not. My audience isn't rowdy. Like they come to listen.
Yeah.
To the jokes.
They came to listen, get to meet these people, have real comedy experiences. The club asked me, they's like, we want to develop you. Come out whenever you want. Like Dallas, like.
Yeah.
And that Philly was fucking amazing. Was awesome. So it's like.
San Francisco this weekend's gonna be dope. San Francisco's so dope because you're getting everybody.
Yeah,
You're
really,
getting Asian.
Yeah.
black, white, mixed, trans, disabled, blind. You get everybody in San Francisco. Everybody.
And that's awesome. And Cobb's, that club.
Have you ever been inside of it?
No.
It's big.
Big club.
It's big. It's kind of warped though, because the green room, there's little cartoon paintings,
Mm-hmm.
and you realize they're all dead. You got to die to get on that wall. It's got like Ralphie May, George Carlin, Richard Pryor. I'm like, I never want to be on this wall. Never. It's kind of warped a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hot room though.
Hot room.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so it's like.
What's been your favorite city?
Philly.
Philly? Yeah, that helium though, the ceiling's real low. You're almost underground, and the laughs just reverberate in the room.
It slaps you in the face.
Yeah. I always try to tell people there's certain rooms in certain cities where you're not as funny as you think you are.
That's wonderful.
Because they give you so much love. It's like there's some cities I'd be like, you're not as bad as you think. I would say for me,
Hartford, Connecticut.
Hartford. Okay. For me, as far as stand-up crowds, and I'm like, Hartford, all right. I'm just talking about the Funny Bone. Take the theaters out of it. Captain Brian's and Naples. We used to say everything's good about the gig except the gig. It's gotten better the last couple of times I went. There was a time that I went there and I took a deep breath because it was just like, oh, they're going to be flat. Because it's a lot of retirees, very old and white.
Yeah.
Physically, they can't give you laughter like you want for an hour straight.
Yeah, they're listening, but they're not giving.
But stand-up rooms that I'm like, Ontario Improv.
Yeah.
Have you done that one?
Yep.
You did it with me last year. We're going to do it again in January. That crowd, oh my God. The Philly one, hot. Honestly, Tacoma, where we're here.
Yeah.
We're recording right now. We had the show last night.
Hot as shit.
Nate Jackson's room.
Hot as shit.
Hot as shit.
Yeah, that was on a Monday night. The last night, Monday night.
Yeah.
People came out, and Nate even went up after my set. He's like, it feels like a Saturday night in here, like the energy. Like you're just down for it.
Well, you're getting, and kind of like it's the San Francisco vibe. Seattle, Tacoma area, it's diverse. That crowd Monday night, you saw everybody. You saw Samoan, Asian, white, black, old, young.
Yeah.
It was military. You saw people that looked like they had a lot of money, people that looked like they spent their paycheck on this. It was it was such a diverse, dope crowd.
It is so interesting how cities have comedy personalities. You know what I mean? Like how it could be so different from city to city.
For
Even,
sure.
Like 2 hours away, it can be completely different. I never knew that. And it's like being able to like understand that and like now manipulating crowds, it gave me a different outlook on just the media in general. Like watching the news, watching things. Because like talking to an individual is completely different than talking to 500 to 2,000 people. Like you manipulate this group of people. Like you.
But it's the same thing you're saying. It's weird how you can get 500 people to all be like, we're all going to be in hysterics tonight. And then on the other side of it, there's some nights where they're just so flat. You're like, so you all just decided to give like chuckles tonight?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Weird. So weird. So back to the Indianapolis, like that story. So like the first show, Friday night, 8:00. I switch up the order of my jokes. I put on my closers in the beginning. I'm like, I'm gonna challenge
Did I tell you to do that?
No.
Okay.
I was doing it, taking a risk. I'm like, let me change up my thing. So I put my closers in the beginning. 8:00 show, ripped, like fantastic. Too fantastic, too good, because my ego was through the roof. I'm like, oh, Indianapolis.
But it worked. The whole 30 minutes worked.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
It was great. It was. I remember that show. That was like.
And then the 10:30 show came.
And then the 10:30. So I'm on a high. I'm like, Indianapolis isn't ready for me, man. That's the first show.
Don't ever
Shit,
say that.
We
Don't
got
ever say
that. I don't anymore. I said 5 more. Here we go, baby. You know, and so then the show started late, the second show.
Mm-hmm.
And I've never done like a late Friday, like where it started like 45 minutes late, like half hour late. So they come in, I come out, I'm doing my closers in the beginning. And I probably didn't even like introduce myself well, like, hey, welcome. I didn't probably work to warm them up, but I do my first joke. Nothing.
Was it the closer? You started with the closer again?
No.
You just did your regular set.
I started with the closers. Like I have like 2 or 3 closing jokes. And so like I started with it. I'm like, huh. I hit the punchline. Nothing. Go to my second closing joke. Hit the punchline. Nothing. And I'm like, since I did so well the first show, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? Do they not know what funny is? And then I do the big closing joke. Nothing. 0. And I get so mad that I say, what, you motherfuckers don't find this funny? And then
you can't blame the crowd.
I blame the crowd on stage, and they pulled back. They said, motherfuckers. And they started shouting out shit like, us motherfuckers, fuck you. And that's like one lady was like, how about you tell some jokes? And then in the clip, I said, like, well, yeah, show me your titties then, or something like that. I said something stupid.
Yeah.
And then we had a back and forth and that shit. And then after that, though, I fucking clawed my way because that was 5 minutes in to a half-hour set. 5 minutes in.
Those are the best stories.
That was the hardest bomb I've ever had because I'm like,
let me tell you something.
I have 20 minutes in.
And you're going to learn this the longer you do it. When comedians get together and we're talking shop, nobody cares about when you ripped. I ripped that show. We're like, I don't care. We've all ripped. The bombs are the best stories. The bombs, because we've all done it. They're the best.
And you witnessed that shit. You witnessed how bad that was.
I'm like, they're so funny. Because here's the thing, as a stand-up, if we've been around you, we know, okay, this guy always does well. And like, you're always wondering, like, well, what happened? Like, what happened tonight?
That's why I was so confused. I'm like, what
happened?
If
I remember that night correctly, what I think happened is the crowd was a little, I won't say ghetto, a little more hood than what you was used to. And normally what I'm used to, right? But I've been doing this so long, like, you can feel your way out. So you feel the energy right off the bat, right? And what I remember about that, because I could hear your set from the green room, even though I can't hear everything, you came out so aggressive, and you're a little white dude, and it felt like they didn't know how to take you. That's how I took it. I think they were like, are we supposed to be offended by this? Is it being somebody he's not? Because you're like, what's up, motherfuckers? And you emphasize the ER a little too much. What's up, motherfuckers?
No.
You motherfuckers, I'm white. I'm not scared of you. I'm going to go after you. That's what it felt like.
You know what? That sounds like a good set to me. That sounds awesome, to be honest.
I felt like they was all
way
like,
better. Yeah. I like this set now.
Is he mad at me? This little white
dude, I have that problem. I get mad. So I feel like they hate me sometimes. I get mad when they don't. But yeah, I came out really strong, and then I really fucking insulted them. And then when I hit 20 minutes after that, one joke hit, one final joke hit. I'm all right. I'm out of here. All right, see you guys.
Yeah.
And then I come and pretty much collapse in the green room.
Yeah, we filmed it and posted it.
And we filmed it. Then
I enjoyed it.
I bet you did.
I enjoy the comeback.
The comeback, yeah, right.
And what I love about it is like we sit in the green room, and you know me well enough. You were so like, man, look at Bob, what's wrong? And I'm sitting there eating the chicken from Ruth Chris, like, dude, not that big of a deal. And then I'm telling you, just switch a little bit of shit around. I feel like old Yoda back there. I was like, dude, relax. And then the next night, boop, you're fine.
Yep.
So I almost feel like the elder statesman sometimes when the guys be like, the younger guys are just, they think one bomb is going to end the career. You're like, oh my God.
The daunting thing was there was 4 more shows after that. And I'm like, I just went through one of the worst experiences of my life. Because public speaking, we're up there in front of 350, 400 people in Indy. And they all don't want to hear what I have to say. And I have to talk to them for 20 minutes and try to make them laugh. And they're not laughing.